Hello and welcome back to the Popcorn for Dinner podcast, and welcome once again aboard the Sojourner, this time heading for Titan. I'm Bankole, and today we're discussing the first post-Ed Baldwin episode of For All Mankind. And joining me today, they too start randomly punching people whenever they hear the name Donnie Stevens. It's Jazz and Angel. How you guys doing?
Hello.
Fabulous today.
Jazz, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. I'm really excited to talk about For All Mankind.
Yeah, we like to collect as many For All Mankind fans as we can. It's a very small community, so we try to.
I think we're 10 now.
Yeah, we're 10 now.
That's the thing that I've noticed. I was like, where is all the chatter about it? I haven't been seeing people talk about it that much, and I'm just like, I don't know what's going on. It's a really good show.
Yeah, I mean, we only started covering it last season, so
Yeah.
But so we've kind of realized that there's just it's difficult.
Yeah.
You have to. It's like finding life on Mars. It's just like
Literally.
you have to find the people. Angel, how you been in the week since Ed Baldwin left us?
Honestly, it's been brighter. Don't know if it's called Ed left us, but
Wow.
the weather is getting better, kind of. So things have been feeling more positive. I'll leave it at that.
Wow, now you're dancing on Admiral's grave. I don't like this at all.
Do the jiggle.
That's fine. Okay, so before we get into the episode, as always, wherever you listen to this, please like and subscribe. Please rate and review. If you're listening on audio platforms, like and subscribe on YouTube. Jazz, do you want to? I was going to write it down, but like you're doing so many different things that are just way out of my own kind of sphere of understanding. So, like, do you want to tell the listeners who you are, what you're doing, and where they can find you?
Sure, yeah. I'm Jazz, a former executive podcast producer. So I've created shows for SiriusXM, Sony Music, TLC, Warner Brothers. Now I'm in front of the mic. So I have a YouTube channel where I host 2 series. One is called Channel Surf, and it's like my corner of YouTube for pop culture, TV reviews and recaps. I collaborate with a lot of other content creators on there to talk about different shows that we're watching right now. I'm covering Imperfect Women, which is also on Apple. And then I have another series called The Queue, where I sit with actors and reality stars to ask them the burning question, what do you like to watch when you're not on screen? And so that one is going really well. I actually just dropped an episode today with Gail Bean, who starred as Wanda in the show Snowfall. And so, yeah, that's what I'm working on. And I have some really cool series over there. So you can follow all of that under my YouTube, which is at J. Henley Brown.
Yeah, I'll link all of that in the description. Angel, you're watching Imperfect Women, aren't you? Or you started?
So I did start the episode, but me and my friend get into this thing. We'll start watching a show, but just like we just start yapping. So we were paying zero attention. So I'm gonna have to rerun that, spin the block. But she did tell me she continued, and it's getting spicier. So
how do you feel about her continuing without you?
We've discussed the betrayal of it because she does it a lot, but can't blame her. Our schedules are like.
I'm on her side.
For what?
I think people should be allowed to continue watching shows and not have to wait for the other person.
People should ask permission. What if the other person was only wanting to watch it with them?
Yeah,
I agree, Angel.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jazz.
You guys can agree. That's fine. It's just like this is. I know it's a hot take. I've said it everywhere else, but just like I feel like we shouldn't hold other people to like the same schedule. I hate when I'm like, oh, someone should watch this, and they're like, oh, I have to wait for my boyfriend, my girlfriend to watch. I'm like, no, just watch it, and then you can watch it again. Look, I'm sorry. This is just a whole
could
thing.
end a relationship.
But why?
When
Why
you're watching
though?
with your spouse, like that's like quality time. That's like
literally,
a thing we do together.
We talk about it. Like
exactly.
I haven't finished the show because my boyfriend watched it without me. I'm still struggling. I'm just like, why would you do that?
Okay, counterpoint.
It's relationship ending.
What if I'm okay rewatching it with you?
That's
not the same.
Oh my God.
That's a different case. But like, especially if we started it together, it's like rewatch. We were here together.
So now I have to like hold myself according to no. Whenever I've watched something with someone, I've made him clear from look, there's a good chance that I'll continue this without you.
Exactly.
But
that's all I
will
need.
watch it with you
That's exactly
when you want to watch it. I'm just like, because Also, I don't necessarily like watching things with everybody because of the way I watch
Exactly.
stuff.
It depends on the show
Like,
too. Like I find like reality TV, I prefer group watching or
oh yeah,
watching with
that's
someone,
yeah.
or even some TV shows, for example, like Imperfect Woman, All Her Faults, like shows like that. I prefer watching with my friends versus like I'll run through like The Pit or like Modern Family or any type of show like that in like 2.2 seconds. So
Seems like you're picking and choosing. Seems very
okay,
convenient, but
the difference is I'll
okay,
say, "Hey, girl, I'm gonna watch this. I'm gonna keep going," and she does the same too,
sure.
but not all the time. So.
Yeah, but Jazz, like, Imperfect Women, and you obviously, is there any like reality show that you're discussing right now?
No. I have some video essays coming out about reality TV, but I just got done covering I covered The Traitors, I covered like The Real Housewives of Potomac, but
Yes, ma'am.
oh, I'm sorry, I lied. I did. I just did Extracted on Fox,
I
the
was kind
survivalist.
of
Yes.
that was an
You
alley-oop. I
you
was
threw me
waiting.
definitely for that. I know. No, my brain there's so much stuff. And I have
Yeah,
so many like series that are about to come out that my brain is kind of fried. But yes, no. I just got done covering Extracted on Fox, and I did all of the exit interviews for all of the contestants who were extracted. So if you like that show, you can also check out those. But yeah, I love competition reality TV. I'm in a weird space with
same.
like, high drama, high conflict
Mhm.
style reality TV. I don't know if that's my thing anymore, but
So are you doing
another
Survivor
conversation for another
50?
day. Say that again?
Are you doing Survivor 50?
No, I'm not doing Survivor. I haven't watched enough Survivor for, like, 50 to mean that much to me. Like, I've
Mhm.
watched some seasons. I watched Boston's Rob, the season where he met his wife, Amba,
Aw.
and then I've watched, like, maybe 4 seasons of Survivor altogether because I'll see people on, like, The Traitors or on The Challenge, and then I'll go back and watch their season of Survivor, but, like, I wasn't, like, a Survivor stan, so 50 is like, "Oh, it's nice," but
It's like, oh, it's just another number. Um, okay, I only do like one reality TV show a year. My brain cannot do more than one. I tried Love Island USA last year, and I think I'm just gonna go back to UK. think I'm just gonna stick with the UK from
Was
now on.
last year a
Like,
good year for USA? I can't even remember
unless it was the
now.
It was a
Shelley
cursed
Ace
season.
year.
Oh, no,
Yeah, so I think
no.
I'm just gonna stick with UK. Okay, so should we talk about For All Mankind?
Let's get into
This
it.
is season 5, episode 4. It is titled Open Source. It is written by Sabrina Almeida and is directed by Miriam Menon. We're gonna get to our thoughts of this episode obviously in a second, but I want to just kind of discuss one of the YouTube comments we got from last week. Obviously, they were all kind of about Ed leaving us.
That
But we did get this one comment from at GOD007 or 007, I guess is probably what the handle is saying. And I'm just going to read it out quickly. So it says, this episode reminded me so much of a quote from the early 2000s Spielberg miniseries Taken, not to be confused with the Liam Neeson films of the same name. Ali's voiceover still plays in my head, clear as a bell. And this is the quote. People come home for a lot. Obviously, remember that this episode is titled Home, last week's episode. People come home for a lot of reasons. They come home to remember. They come home because they've got no place else to go. They come home when they are beaten. They come home when they are proud. They come home looking for a door out into their past or a road out into their future. They come home for a lot of reasons, but they always come home to say goodbye. And her words certainly echoed the overall sentiment of this episode. We see the myriad layers the writers wove into this narrative, and the emotional gut punch at the end, got in, simply got in. Amazing writing as always. I just really like that quote. I hadn't heard about this show. It's about like aliens abducting people, as with Spielberg, and
mhm.
is apt for Disclosure Day. But yeah, no, I just really like that quote about like people coming home and the reason to come home. So I just want to kind of share that and thank the
It's
commenter for the
beautiful.
comment. Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about For Mankind. A quick peek behind the curtain. Jazz, I'm sorry if I'm blowing up your spot, but you just told us that you caught up with this season recently. So like, what are your thoughts so far? Like, we've got into this season. We're halfway through the season now, or about halfway.
It
What are your
actually
thoughts?
pains me to say this. I think this season is kinda boring.
Okay.
I think it's kinda boring, and I was actually just talking to my fiancé last night about it. This is not a show that we watch together, so he has no idea, but I was like, "Oh my god, they killed Ed." And he was like, "Oh, that's so sad. Like, who is Ed?" And so I had to, like, explain the show and stuff, but I was just like, I kind of knew that this season might be a little boring because I was telling you before we started recording, I caught the premiere. I caught an advanced screening of the premiere, and while I was watching it, I was just kind of like feeling like I wanted to fall asleep a little bit. And I was like, that doesn't bode well for the rest of the season if the first episode, because usually with For All Mankind, I'm locked in from episode 1. And, like, I
Mhm.
was feeling that, but I was like, "No, I just need to see the rest of the episodes." The best episode to me so far has been episode 4.
Same.
Um, yeah,
Yeah.
Home, and so, yeah, I'm feeling bad, but I'm not super thrilled by
Well,
this season.
you last week's episode, so Ed's
Or
death,
this one we're
Yeah.
covering.
that's
Oh, okay,
3.
okay. Let me
That's
take back
3.
my same. Let me take back
Oh,
my
I'm
same.
sorry. I'm so
Yeah.
sorry. You want me to take that again?
No, 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 it's fine.
No,
It's
no, no,
Okay,
no.
fine.
okay,
We're an open podcast here. We let people
okay.
see our
We
flaws,
have flaws,
except for the
exactly.
flaws that I edit out, whichever we don't, nobody know, nobody ever knows. Um, okay, so let's talk. I want to talk about your overall points in a second, but yeah, why did you like last week's episode? Obviously, apart from the big reason.
Well, that's the reason, right? Like,
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
think the entire episode, it was, like, the anticipation. Unfortunately, I saw someone comment something on Threads, and they were like Ed with a sad face, so I kinda knew what was
In here.
coming. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but it's still, for me, sometimes I don't like spoilers, but sometimes I don't mind them because 'cause I'm like, I still have to take the journey to get there. So, like, watching it unfold is still, like, fine to me. So, yeah, I kinda knew it was coming, but yeah, that was the best episode so far, and, because we lost such a big character, I knew when I saw him in episode 1, I was like, "He's not gonna last much longer, but I thought they would at least keep him for the rest of the season and maybe the season finale would be his death, but no, they got
Mm-hmm.
him out of here quickly.
So you used the adjective boring, and I want to get your thoughts on this in a second because I do think that's very interesting because you've just kind of binged these episodes, and I think we've covered at this point now 5 weeks in a row because we did a preview episode. Um, so we kind of covered it weekly, and then we've kind of had this journey as well where I don't think we used the word. Maybe we didn't use the word boring, but maybe we were
Yeah,
kind of
we're like
alluding to
the
that.
magic is like we're like,
Yeah,
where's that splat? You
and I think
know?
maybe I don't know if it was cope, maybe it was us coping, but I think we kind of arrived at this decision or thinking that like it is the point of the evolution as a
Yeah.
society, right? As like w- space shit advancement at the point is like, okay, how do you create a
Mundane.
society? And so
Mhm.
we obviously made the same point as well that like in most first episodes there is a big space thing, which is usually a disaster because that's kind of how things go for all mankind. But it's usually a big space thing. And yeah, I like I guess the fact that you had that feeling as well is a bit harsh on the show. No, not harsh. Sorry, it's a bit
Mm-mm.
um tough for the show to take. But I think it's also in line with what we're thinking. It's just maybe we've had more time to kind of rationalize it. I don't know, Angel, what
Yeah.
did you think of her thoughts of it being boring?
I agree because that's exactly what we've been saying. Maybe not boring per se, but just like just not as locked in, you know. And we arrived at the holistic view of things, being like, yeah, okay, yeah, they've done all this advancement to get to Mars. Now I think their life on Mars. So we're like, we don't really want to focus on the human. We want the spaceship, but like this is the spaceship now. So yeah, we decided to give them some more grace for that because, we're like, okay, maybe this is really what we're trying to convey. Maybe we just find human beings boring sometimes. And I think that's part of what we're
Yeah.
suffering
I
with.
do I do wonder if we're giving them because it's weird. We can either be giving them enough grace or too much grace. We don't actually know until the season is over, right? So
Mm.
it's like I don't know if are we being fair or are we being too lenient on the
I
show.
feel they are starting to prove we are being fair.
Okay, so talk about episode 4 then, because you said this is your favorite of the
Episode
season so far.
4, yes, it's my favorite season so far because it's the first episode I was watching and I was watching like, and I really felt that for all mankind like pull. I don't know how else to put it. Like I don't know if it's the introduction of the new character that we'll get to discuss, but something about it just felt like a total vibe shift. This episode it reminded me so much of like the previous seasons that I really liked, like the episode in the previous season I really liked. Not to mention they brought back one of our favorite characters as well. So lovely to see her. And yeah, it really hit that nostalgic spot. And especially with the way it ended, I love when they leave things, with a little bit of blow shit up. And that was the vibe I was getting this episode. So I really liked it. Like for me now they're in an uptick. We've gone two, 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 two.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh Jazz, what do you have any big picture thoughts on this particular episode? Is it still in the boring camp for you?
I there was some more drama. You know, at the core of For All Mankind, it is about space and science and stuff, but it's a drama at the end of the day. And so
Mm-hmm.
I will agree with Angel. Like what they did at the end of the episode, I was like, "Oh, okay, I understand, like, why this is exciting." I think I'm just less invested in the characters, like, I'm not invested enough to actually,
100.
like, care about the big picture, right, and, like, the thing that they discovered. I know we'll talk about it, but I think that's where I'm at, like, I just feel a disconnect from the people that we now have to follow, and that could be my own, like, personal connection that I had with Ed, and, like, probably because I just think Joel Kinnaman is, like, very attractive, and so I'm just like, "Damn, he's gone. Where's my eye candy?" But
Even at 80?
No, I was literally like, he was looking more like eye
right.
candy at this point.
I know. What does that say? What does that say about me? The essence of him was still there though.
Yeah,
Fair,
Okay.
fair.
yeah.
Um, no, but yeah, I think I'm just not as attached to the characters. And so that's also what's kind of taking me out. And I think that's what I experienced when I watched the first episode. Like I knew they were going in like a next gen direction. And I was like, oh, but do I care about the next gen? Right. And like
Mhm.
I kind of arrived
Yeah,
at like, I don't think I do. And that's probably
yeah,
why I'm feeling a little disconnected.
yeah,
No, I think I completely agree with you, and it's something that I've just kind of had to tell myself that, like, they're just it's just never even, like, and we'll talk about that in a second, when Danielle comes up, it's just like, maybe it's nostalgia,
yeah,
maybe it's it's funny, I have an episode coming up where I was talking about nostalgia. I was like, I don't think nostalgia is actually that bad a thing. I think we've villainized that word so much, but that's a whole different thing. But like, I think maybe it's nostalgia. Maybe it's they were better writing those characters in the first seasons. Probably no, but I don't know. It's just like I think they will never just kind of reach those highs again. Like
yeah.
the
I mean, we
things we
grew with
felt,
them. Like,
yeah, the things we felt for Ed and Ellen and Margot and Aleida and Molly and Karen, like I just think we can never get there again. And I think
yeah,
that's just unfortunately that's just gonna be the case. Right.
yeah,
So it's it's there are some things in this episode that are hopeful in terms of what you
yeah.
guys are saying in terms of these characters. But I think they would never reach the highs of the first generation, unfortunately. I mean, that sounds a little that sounds very mean. And like
No,
I'm
I
already
mean, I think it's valid because also we just haven't been given enough time to care about them, especially with the time jumps. Like, especially a
hmm
lot of these new gen characters, we didn't even see them grow. They were baby or picture, and now they're
picture
full-fledged
here.
people. So it's like that connection is really missing in terms of that emotional impact. But I think it's I actually don't want to say it's no, I feel like from this episode it's starting to build a little bit for me. And not even because of any of the existing characters, actually because of the new character they just introduced. I'm like,
Okay, so let's talk about this new character because I have thoughts on this new character. So this new character is Avery. Um, did anyone know this character was coming?
not a clue. I was
Yeah, because
shocked.
I didn't watch the trailer. So because when she comes up in the polygon, I'm like, who are you? Who's
Literally, whose child is this?
But I knew she was gonna be someone of significance, obviously, when they were saying,
hmm
like the questioning, like, "Oh, you took your stepfather's last name, why don't you go by your right?"
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "Oh, so she's clearly." I didn't know they were gonna tell us who her dad was
Yeah.
immediately after that,
hmm
because I wrote in my notes, I was like,
Who's the
"Stepfather's last
daddy?
name. Who is her parent?" But then immediately they told us who her
Yeah.
parent was. So I was like, "Oh, okay. That's kinda cool."
What did you think of her introduction, Jazz?
I thought it was interesting, right? I think she falls into like a very particular trope that I see a lot with like this tough as nails, like badass, like troubled woman who is like nobody can we curse on here? Nobody
Yeah,
can
Yeah.
okay. I never know. Nobody can fuck with
yeah.
me.
yeah. Go
Right? So
ahead.
she falls under
Oh
this
wait, no wait.
like
That's no, that's too much. That's fuck. That's a
I
big
know.
word. No,
I'm
you
so
have to.
sorry.
I'll have to
Please
cut that out. Yeah.
don't tell my parents that I said it. Um, but yeah, so she falls under this particular trope,
hmm
and when you lean too much into that trope, for me, it's like, okay, it's predictable, right? So
hmm
Yeah.
like I knew at some point I was gonna get a breakdown from her, like like she was gonna have this like redemption arc. And so I was like, again, it kind of fell into like the same way that I'm feeling about the season. Like I'm a little bored with it because it's not anything new.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Angel, you liked this introduction a
Well,
lot.
I wouldn't say her intro specifically. I liked her character as a
Yeah,
whole by the end of the
episode, yeah.
episode. I think what you're saying about that particular trip at first was getting me a little bit, because I was just like, okay, girl, clearly there's some trauma here. What that trauma is. Once they said who her daddy is, I was like, there we go. I was like, this is it, right? But I don't know, something about her acting felt natural. Like I feel like even though she was putting that is her vibe, I didn't feel like she was trying too hard. Like for some reason, I already felt like she fits into the world of For All Mankind seamlessly. And then I think also because of, you know how I said, she's going to have a breakdown. I think because they also had the breakdown in this same episode and she's kind of
Yeah.
worked through it already to get to that point. Like, it's not this thing that's hanging on her back. Like, this is the chip on her shoulder. It already seems kind of like, yeah, maybe the chip is still there, but now it's like maybe just ice chips. You know what I mean? So I really appreciated that about the episode as well. So that really made me like her character as a whole, because coming in, I was like, you're not off-putting. You seem like you have a backbone. Then we get to the little brawl and I'm like, okay, you're doing too much now. Like, everybody already knows you're a little like calm down. So, but then her talking to Babe and then, having that moment and seeing the rest of her teammates be excited for her. I was like, okay, these are signs telling me that her character, although she's a little, she's still, really lovable and like, such a solid babe. So feel like she's very much in the For All Mankind. Now, did I find it interesting that it's Danny's daughter they decided to highlight here? Very. I wonder why we made that choice. I mean, other than the mental health of it all, I'm wondering if there's any other reason why it's his child specifically that's, the
Can
no.
I ask you guys a question about that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because I was wondering, did I miss something with Danny? But,
girl,
like,
yeah.
he never seemed like an important enough character for, like, his daughter to then mean something to us now with her introduction, but there's so much time passes between these seasons,
Hmm.
and I'm like, maybe I'm just forgetting. So, like, do you guys feel like Danny was an important character when he was in the
Yeah.
story?
I feel like of the
Okay.
baby side characters, like Kelly and Danny were the two most important characters. But
Right.
where Kelly was more for like, I don't know how to say, Kelly was more of an ed device. Danny kind of worked for everybody. He had his thing with his dad. He had his thing with Ed. He had his thing with Karen. He had his mental health issues, which then leads to Danielle's guilt later. So he kind of touched almost everybody on the team. And I think that's maybe why they decided on him. Cause really, like, other than the affair, his mental health issues, like, those are the two big things that kind of, when you think Danny, those are what you remember. So maybe that's why. Because honestly, when I think of his brother, I'm like struggling a little bit. Like, what did he do? You know?
I thought we're done with this character. I thought we're done with the Stevens. I was like, I genuinely just thought I was like,
Imagine the Stevens
I
dying.
don't
Come
want these guys
on.
anymore. To your question, Jazz, I think I think he was an important character. Was he a good character? No.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a
I've never
different
really liked his
question.
scene with Danny Stevens in it. But like the character of Danny Stevens has been there since season one. I think the main actor was there from season two, probably. I think he was one that played teenage. Yeah, because I think that's when he was in the Marines or somewhere with Kelly when they were all drinking. So I think that was season two. So no, Danny Stevens I think it's in terms of Inja. I think you asked why his daughter. I think it's the legacy, right? It's the Stevens legacy. It's like I'm hoping. Look, on record saying I don't like Danny Stevens. I can't remember his brother's name now that was
That's
involved
literally,
in
I'm
the
still
conspiracy theories.
struggling.
I don't like those siblings. I never thought like I just thought not only like you can have bad character, I just feel like they always kind of drag the storylines as well. I mean, Danny Stevens is single-handedly involved in the worst storyline For All Mankind has ever done,
Yeah.
which is the Karen
Karen of
affair,
it all.
which is
God in
weird because I
heaven.
was thinking about this. We don't hold Karen like we don't punish Karen as much for that, which is
No.
she's the more
It's 'cause
irresponsible
she
one in that
died.
situation. It's because she
Exactly.
died. It's
Exactly.
because she
It's
died.
literally because she dies. Before
But
anyone
Danny
can really
died. But
find
Danny
out
dies as well.
what this mess is. Yeah.
No, but I think the show is about For All Mankind, but it's also a lot about legacies, right? It's
Yeah.
like if you go from the Baldwins, Ed and Karen to Kelly and now to Alex,
Yeah. Is it
Stevens, like
Jimmy's dead too, right? He died at that
yeah,
bombing.
Jimmy
Yeah.
died. Jimmy,
Yeah.
that's his name. He
Yeah.
died in a bombing
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
The Stevens, you have Gordo and Tracy, and then
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy and
Yeah.
Danny, and now so it's always kind of been a legacy thing. So it makes sense that they're following the daughter
Actually
now.
makes sense when you think about it like that, because Danny did get married. Jimmy didn't have like any family or anything, so he
Hmm.
would actually be the only one that could carry on
Yeah.
the
Like the
Stevens'
show
line
starts
with.
with those two couples, like
Yeah,
Karen and Ed, Gordo and
Tracy.
Tracy. Those are like
Oh
the two couples
God,
that kind of
almost feels
uh
like 2016
ages
somehow when you
ago.
just say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
2016
God,
summer.
like those first like 2 seasons are like lightning in
The
the
sun was
bottles.
out,
Oh my
birds were foot
God.
chirping. But I think we're all kind of like aligned in because that was my own
Hmm.
issue as well. Is like, uh, I mean, I'm hopeful that like the good character gene skips a generation. So we have Tracy and Gordo being great characters. It skips their children, and now it comes to her. Hopefully, to Avery. But I was with you guys where I was like, because a compliment we gave the show earlier in our coverage was how they've characterized Boyd. And
Hmm.
I explicitly said that Boyd is not this. I was like, you'd expect that Boyd would be this kind of tough cop or whatever and has a dark past or whatever.
Honestly, to your point, I thought it was Boyd at first when they were interviewing her. I was like,
Oh, true.
oh,
Yeah. Yeah. And then, so, but they didn't do that with Boyd. So I was kind of
mm-mm.
disappointed that they're doing it with Avery now. It's like, we've kind of sidestepped this cliche already, and now you're coming here to do it with this character. But I think, again, to your point, I'm happy that the epiphany or the like breaking down
Yeah.
the walls happens in this episode, because if for example this was the end of our arc,
Hmm.
then that would have been very boring and very predictable if
Yeah.
the entire journey of the entire season was for her to get to that. But the fact that it's in this first episode means that hopefully there's a lot more room to now be a character,
Yeah.
right? So that's kind of the hopeful thing. It's like, okay, they did all the cliche stuff at the start so that now she has the freedom to kind of be a character. Because like, again, if we're being fair, it's kind of impossible to have both the great and terrible legacies of your parent or your dad and your grandparents and not be like a bit
A
fucked
little
up.
messed
Like it's
up.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of impossible. So I'm hopeful. I just don't know what her story is going to be because she's going to the moon.
Yeah.
So I was when we first go to the establishing shot, which is the show is the Marine Corps, I immediately thought of our friend Pete Peppers, who was on our first couple of episodes of this
Mm.
season. He was talking about Alex's friend going to the Marine and was like
Yes.
interested that they're taking Marines from Mars. Like, is it like a case of like if they want people in space, they don't want people to
Yeah.
fight against the Martians for
Yeah.
Earth. They want people that know the area, right? So I was like, oh, is that what's happening here? But it's not. So I don't know if maybe they will end up sending the people on the moon to Mars because it's a lot quicker than going from Earth. Like,
Hmm.
because there's probably going to be a real, I mean, based on what happens
War.
this episode, yeah, a real kind of war between, they call themselves Marsies, not Martians, the Marsies and like Earth, right? So it's like, if we had the analogy earlier in the season, one of our guests already had the analogy of like it being a colonization metaphor, I'll agree, whatever. And it's like, most times colonization ends with like a violent war, right? It doesn't
Yeah.
necessarily, it's very rare that it's like a peaceful quote unquote handover. So
Hmm.
like there's probably going to be that war between Mars guns and Earth's guns. So that's probably what is leading up to. So I don't know. To answer to, I think we're all on the same page where we're like, we didn't like the introduction at first, but then we're happy
We'll
that,
see. Yeah.
yeah, we're happy that that breakdown is in this episode. If it was next
Right.
episode or end of the season, that would have been
Yeah. I can't
a
deal
real
with that.
bummer.
Like, please, too pedestrian.
Yeah. Like because
Yeah.
she was ticking all the boxes. Like the only thing that was like she was angry. She
Literally.
was
She drives a
not.
motorcycle.
Yeah, that's a motorcycle. The
Literally.
only thing that was missing was that she was a lesbian. They were like, okay, now we've just
Dead
ticked all the
ass.
boxes. I like,
Dead
yeah, okay.
ass. Who
But do we
knows?
know if she's not?
We
Exactly.
don't. We don't.
Exactly. Who
No,
knows?
so yeah, no. Yeah, I was kind of all through this episode. I was like, oh no, and then the end, I was like, okay, that's kind of a good. Okay, that's hopeful. Now I'm hopeful. Um, Speaking of hope or lack of hope, let's go to Mars. Um, Alex is taking a new job. I was just like, I I forget
Nepo
how
baby
much of a nepo baby
things.
he is. Like,
Ah!
not only is your mother like part owner of this company, you're like buddy with the other owner. You're like you're
Your
friendly.
aunt
You're very
Aleida.
friendly with the CEO. It's just like
Thank
it's like
you.
you're
Thank
not
you.
you're not a
Thank
normal
you.
person. Stop trying to act normal.
At
Um,
all.
So I guess let's just go to the end. He finds out this thing, which is that there's an
AI is coming
agreement.
for your jobs.
Who and him and Lily kind of leak this information, right? Which I think is what the title of this episode, Open Source, is referring to. Let me just ask you guys this question: who do you think didn't know about this? Like, who is it a surprise to Dev? Is it a surprise to Aleida? Like, who didn't know about this agreement?
I feel like Alita probably didn't know. I feel like Dev definitely did.
Dev had to know,
Yeah,
right? Like, this wouldn't just happen under his but I guess shit happens at companies under CEOs, like,
that's
under
so
their noses
fair.
all the time,
That's
right?
so
But,
fair.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know who would have known about this. That's actually a really good question because I didn't even think about that. Um, I think I was watching it, like, very surface level
Hmm.
because I was kinda like, "Well, what" I think I was asking myself, like, "Well, why is this a bad thing if they go back to Earth? Like, what's
They
wrong
don't
with
wanna
Earth?"
do that. Like, they're doing this so they can flee in the
Well,
first place. Like,
yeah. I mean,
we're
let's
Well,
trying to
use
find other habitable,
yeah,
yeah,
spaces
yeah.
for us earthly people. And now they've decided, man, they love their life there. Like, see, I'm like, I never want to go back to Earth. Like, I love Mars. Mars is my home, you know? And also, just like, after living in Mars for so long, like, how are they going to reacclimatize to being earthly? Like, sure, doable, but difficult. And I don't think they were ready, or anybody's really ready to upend their lives on
yeah. But
Mars as it
again, adding to
is.
that, like we've used the colonization metaphor, but there's also
Exactly.
it's not even subtle here. The very strong like immigration metaphor. So
Mm-hmm.
basically, America is like kicking out these people back. They're like, "G- go back to where you came from." They're like, we are putting like we want to. How can I say this without making the metaphor
It's
too
literally
crude?
that. It's like, you have come to build a country. Thank you. Oh, yeah,
Now
get
go
us.
back, right? And like they're like, no, we kind of moved here, most of them kind of quote unquote legally,
Mm-hmm.
to make better lives of ourselves. And now that you've
Mm-hmm.
kind of got what you wanted, i.e., iridium, you're sending us
Yeah.
back to where we ran away from. That's kind of. I was also thinking about this. It's a good thing Ed is dead. I was like, that's the reason they killed Ed. So because I think Ed in this plot line would have been
Hmm.
tough.
Hmm.
Because
I
Ed
Hmm.
mean,
hates Earth.
Ed,
He
Ed,
hates Earth, he hates
Ed
his
would have
family, he
stood
hates
in
everything.
front of that spaceship and said, "You
Yeah.
guys are gonna have to run through me."
yeah, and I think that would have kind of questioned credulity, having like 80-year-old Ed. So I think it's a good thing that Ed is dead here.
Sure, yeah.
Running the resistance.
Yeah, yeah. But also, no, it's like, so, yeah, no, I think for some people, they'll be like, okay, fine, I can go back, right? Because as long as some people moved here just for the work and whatever,
Mm.
people lose jobs. It's unfortunate when it happens. But also people like their lives. Like people defected from North Korea. Like what
Yeah.
happens to them? That's a death
Yeah.
sentence
Right.
if they go back.
Yeah.
People like Alex, he's lived most of his life there, right?
Literally, yeah. His
He
able-bodied life, yes.
yeah, Earth atmosphere isn't good for him. Like people have
Mm-hmm. Like,
probably
literally, what's he gonna do?
yeah, people have probably given birth and raised their kids there. So it's and then this shady organization having this thing. The death thing is
I feel like, sorry, I'm just gonna add here. Dev,
mhm.
I feel like he knew because of his reaction to seeing the leak, right? It was just more like, damn.
It's out.
It was a damn. I wanted to, I wish I had more to package this better for the people. Didn't want them finding out like this type of situation.
But what's the name of the thing that he's building? Was it a
Meru,
what
Yeah, Maru.
Meru, the
Yeah.
city.
that's
That
supposed to
wouldn't
be
make
on Mars,
sense.
right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
So it's
exactly.
like because then the papers that were leaked, it's like 90% of the people will go back to Earth. So like I think that's probably why I'm like, did Dev know though? Because like if
That's
he's
so fair. I actually
building
completely
this
forgot about that.
thing,
He is building
yeah,
Maru. He is building
yeah.
Maru.
Yeah, so that's what I was gonna say, because like logically it makes sense that Dev would know, because again he's the CEO. But I don't know why Dev would agree to this. Like
That's so fair.
he he and Ed
He's
were the
given up
guys who
his
did
life. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. To
like
be on Mars.
they
Yeah.
did the highest last season. Like he's trying to build a city. So I don't know. It's like I don't think the show is gonna turn Dev into its
See,
antagonist this season.
I
Okay, you
doubt
guys
it, but
having thoughts. What's
is
going on?
he only going to close out to the 1% of the 1% in Meru? Is that a possibility here? Because the 98% of reduction of all all people on Mars seems to be speaking entirely to the workforce, So
Mm-hmm.
if you aren't necessarily on Mars as a, worker, you're not doing the serious work
Fair.
or any of the mining, Mars is probably still a viable place for you to choose to live in if you can afford to live there.
That's a good point, and he
Yeah.
did, like, say specifically that he wanted Alex like, that's why he wanted Alex to help him figure out a way because Alex was gonna live there, but Alex is legacy Baldwin, so of course he would be
Exactly.
included in that. I
Exactly.
was my thought that's actually a really good point too, because it's yeah, 90%, not 100%, so there are
Mhm.
people who will still live there. My thought was, maybe Aleida maybe she does know, because remember that scene when Dev was sitting down and he was like, something about, like, "It's hard for me to trust people because they always stab me in the back," and the lady was like, "Well,
Mhm.
I'll stab you in the
Let me in the
front," and he's
front.
like,
Yeah.
"Somehow I don't doubt that." And so maybe she knows about this, and that's why they put that tidbit in there because like, she is a part of this, like, coup, if you will, right, to,
Mm-hmm.
like, automate Mars and, like, get everybody off under Dev's nose. I don't
Mm.
know.
That would be so scary
It
because
would be.
especially with Alida's history of being an immigrant and like, poor for lack of a better
Right.
word. Like I just don't see her like taking part in disenfranchising people. And there's nothing to show at this point that she's that cold yet. You know what I
True.
mean? Like
True too, yeah.
because once they put it
There's
past her,
one
but
thing.
that would actually really shock me. Okay, what's the one thing?
Capitalism.
Girl, bye.
Like, generally, she's the
Yeah, right.
CEO.
She's a CEO now. She
Like,
has
if
Yeah,
they
different
if she is
if they came
power
out
priorities.
like
hungry.
Yeah.
they're
Mhm,
like, this is the
mhm.
business
Oh my God.
decision.
When she was like, she was like, Dev likes an open door policy. She was like, well,
I
I
don't.
don't.
I don't.
I say, hey, I love a tyrant.
I actually, guys, in the premiere, is Aleida a bad boss? You guys said I was being too harsh. I'm just like, I think the
Hey,
sides are there.
hey, I don't think she's a bad boy. You don't know what she could be doing in that office. Maybe
I,
she's saving her from,
I'm not saying it's a bad thing to be a bad boss in this. I'm just saying, like, but is she a bad? Let's answer that question first. No, but like, so I don't think it's likely that neither Dev nor Aleida knew, unless the
Hey.
show just wants to fully put everything on the Russians, and that's a bit more straightforward and a bit.
Especially with that picture that
Mm-hmm.
Aleida was
We'll
held in.
we'll get to that. We'll
Guys.
get to
Okay,
that.
okay,
We'll
okay,
get to
okay.
that.
Okay,
So
okay.
I think we can make, and obviously we'll find out what next episode. But I think we can make
Mhm.
not pros and cons, reasons why either Dev or Alida might know. I think the
Kind of
Dev
want to
thing,
bet on this now.
I think the Dev thing makes sense, and it's a good point about whether like he's doing that. But it does. I don't know. It's weird because like for both of them, it comes down to the fact of like Dev is a billionaire, so
Mhm.
he might have billionaire tendencies. Alida is a CEO, so she might be trying to do what's best for the company because again, like we know that she's under pressure. Um, so I don't know. It's like, but Dev is someone who, I guess, as long as he's okay on Mars and his like inner circle is fine, he might not. I don't know. It might come down to a Dev
Yeah, Dev
versus
has never really been for the people. If anything, he's
his
for his
for Mars.
genus. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
for his vision, So as long as he can still execute his vision, I don't think he really cares as much about who isn't benefiting. Because imagine the strike last year, right? When he was trying to resolve things, he was like, okay, well, I'll offer you guys X amount of money, cross this line.
Yeah.
That's not somebody who cares about the people. Especially, it's like we have shit to get done, we need to get it done. So I feel like he could be cold calculating to be like, yeah, like we'll give them a good package. They'll have homes when they go back to Earth, type of shit. Like it won't be bad. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But they don't have the choice to stay either. So
That's a good point, and I think also to that point about Aleida, like, my theory on her, it doesn't actually track with the character that they have, like, presented to us as an audience, so, like, yeah, that might be far-fetched, but I do you're so right. Dev is all about, like, he has money to throw at things, and so, yeah, he could very well I love your point that you're like, he might just be, like, curating Mars for, like, the people that he wants
mhm.
to stay up there. That's a really good theory, actually. I love that, and that would make sense with, like, who he has been presented,
Hmm.
to us
Hmm.
as well, yeah.
I I don't know. Maybe it's me rooting for the black man. I just really want him to be on the good side.
See, that would be the bigger twist if he was on the good side and
If this
Alida
is
was actually like, this is a smart business decision. Like, you know
I
what
mean,
I'm
they've also
saying?
planted seeds that he doesn't know what's going on in his company.
Fair enough. Literally.
Like, so there's a good
Literally,
chance that he
literally.
doesn't.
If anything, Alida is running shit at this point.
Yeah.
So it's highly likely that she knows. I just can't believe that. I'm so sorry. Like I
But I think
cannot.
Okay, so here's the thing about the Aleida situation, and if I'm making a case for why she might know and that's okay, is that she might not. She's never been to Mars. Last week I was like she'd been to Mars, but that was the moon. I was talking about the moon last week.
Mhm.
It was a mistake. She's never been to Mars. I think she didn't have a first-hand account. So to her, like she might not. It might just be a job to these people. Like she
Mm.
doesn't understand like it's their lives, and she's just again trying
Yeah.
to figure out the bottom line. So she might. Maybe her arc is her seeing this thing firsthand and realizing that this is a big deal and like it's not just moving numbers in a spreadsheet. I don't know. That's kind of so to her, she might not see how bad it is the way we see it. If I'm defending my favorite character, Aleida. Um, so I don't know. It's ooh, ooh. Yeah, I don't. We'll find out who knows. Obviously, once what next episode. But I'm intrigued to kind of see who knows and why they decided to do this and if they
Mhm.
change their stance. I also don't
I
want it
I
to be
also want
like,
to know what was the plan? Like, this is less than 5 years in, like, that they said this is going to be complete. So is it gonna be like year 4, everybody, okay, start migrating back to Earth? Or I
well,
wanna know what their rollout plan was, actually. Let me start
I
there.
mean, I think if by year 3, year 4, like they complete the job and
Mhm.
everybody loses their job, so you have to go back to Earth because you have no work on Mars, and
Mm.
then I mean, uh, I'm gonna get a bit real, but like, what is the plan of ICE deporting people? Like
That's so
after
true.
a while, you go forceful, and you just shove people up in the rockets back to Earth. So like, it's not out of the realm of possibilities.
Yeah, that's
So
true. And they've already
both
been
historically and
sneakily
presently.
preparing for it. So it's
Mhm.
like, also, who's part of these sneaky preparations? Do we feel like the governor is aware?
So I was gonna ask that question. Me, maybe because it's Russian, and
You are biased.
media has taught me to to not trust Russian, but like I just feel like yes, like him and like the vid
His
mail he
cupcake.
gets. I don't know who that's from. I don't know if that's from the head of maybe. I don't think that's the president of Russia, of USSR.
Couldn't tell
But
you,
he was
girl.
like, he tells him you must expedite the next stage of the Kuragin project.
Yeah,
So it's assumed that both he and the
his
Kuragin
cupcake.
company,
Yeah.
yeah, kind of know what's
Mm.
going on. We know that they're the ones doing like the
Yep.
Yeah. Bringing
night
in the
shifts and
I was gonna
everything.
equipment,
bring that
all of
up.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um,
His
there's
wife
a
definitely knew.
oh yeah.
His
I
wife
mean,
definitely knew. Even if he's in the dark,
Oh,
I feel like
yeah.
she
honestly,
has.
100%. Mastermind. You see why I've been saying his cupcake since his cupcake. His
if they came out
cupcake.
and said that she's Lady Macbeth and like she knows everything, he does it, I'll be like, sure, I believe it
Who would
Yep.
disbelieve?
because she has shown that she's probably more, and she's very she might actually be Lady Macbeth because she's doing things where she's letting him think that the idea is his.
My favorite thing.
100%. I was about to say that's
Oh my God.
every woman knows to do that. I'm
Oh
in
my
charge,
God.
but like I'm gonna make you think everything
Like,
is
you
your
made
big
this
idea.
decision. Yeah,
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah.
yeah,
But it's
babe.
all.
Love.
Yep.
I'm sorry, I'm just
First ladies have been getting away with that
I'm just
for
reevaluating
ages
LA.
in
every
America.
LA.
every interaction I've had with a woman in my life. Just give me a second. I'll need a few minutes just to kind of figure
To
out what
even
exactly
feel
was my
good.
idea. No, not
Okay.
really. Not really.
I was
Um,
taught at a young age to do that with my dad. Everything has to be what if you want something, make it seem like it's his idea and you'll get it.
Yeah.
wow. Okay. Anyway, man, we're down. We're down for real.
It's a
No, okay.
man's world, and a woman's got to
So
live in it. So,
yeah, fair. Hey, look, you know what? Maybe you guys have a chance at ruling it because we've
maybe
done
we
such a fine
should.
job.
Maybe the
Yeah.
color would come back to Earth, you know?
Okay, so I personally think he knows, the governor, at least like you said, his wife definitely
Yeah.
knows.
Yeah.
But like let's talk about Aleida quickly because there's some cute stuff, Aleida and Kelly. And again, this is the thing of like
Oh, adorable.
Kelly is not one of my favorite
Me either.
characters, right? And she's been there as a character since season 2, right? But again, I don't know if it's the nostalgia or they just have a better handle of these characters. But when you just throw Kelly and Aleida together in a scene, it's better
So
than
much more likable.
almost any other thing the show is going to do. And it's just
Oh,
like, I don't know if it's nostalgia of us and we know everything. Like when Aleida is talking about her dad, we know those histories and everything. And we know that their friendship and all of that stuff. Or maybe these guys just have a better handle of these characters because they've written them
seen
for
them, yeah.
almost 10 years now at this point. I don't know what the reason is, but it's just like these characters are just lights out better than any other thing the show has kind of done. Although I did really like Alex this episode, we've gone past
Yeah.
him without actually. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's very quick. They want us to believe that he became friends with his coworkers very quickly. I'm like, okay, sure. But apart from that, I was like, his struggle is maybe naive, but I still kind of understood it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, and obviously he's trying to live up to, like, everybody else on this show trying to live up to legacies. Honestly, this show could just type to legacy.
Literally what I was thinking.
He's trying to live up to his granddad's legacy. But there's clearly a brilliance there, which I didn't
Yeah.
know of. Right, you see when he
Yeah.
just starts cooking with the Meru
Exactly.
thing. I'm like,
Really
oh,
love
actually,
that they showed
I was
us
like, oh,
that.
I didn't know you had that in you. Yeah. Anyway, so Aleida asks for everyone that's coming in the Corrigan shuttle or whatever, and God, I think I write down her name. Olga? No, I feel like it was a very stereotypical Russian name. But
Svetlana.
Margot's handler from last season,
Oh yes, I can't remember her name.
she is on the Corrigan delegation. Yeah, I know
Oh, are we talking about the photo?
the photo. Yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
Okay,
the
so
Russian
that
babe.
I was so lost with that. I was like, who like why is this such a big deal? Okay. That makes sense now.
Because that baby's EVIL.
Yeah. Because it's the last lady in the photo, right? Like that was
Yeah.
on the far.
yeah,
Okay,
on
because
the
I was like,
left.
she
I
looks
think it's
familiar. I just
Irina.
couldn't place it.
Irina,
It's
probably.
Irina. It's
Yeah.
Irina. It's
Okay.
Irina.
Okay.
I knew
Yeah.
it was a very like stereotypical
Yeah.
Soviet
Yeah.
Union. Yeah, it's Irina, and she's like obviously older, and which is interesting because the last time
Looking
we saw
good.
her, it looked like Star City KGB was putting her on the
Donzo.
outs. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, BTA. So like, it's. I mean, it makes sense because she's left the government and she's gone private. She's in
Private.
Kurgan,
Yeah.
a company, but obviously she still has some connections, which will explain how they're able to get things like all these kind of deals going. So I didn't expect to see her back.
Me
Um,
too.
Do you guys
yeah,
watch the previous seasons in preparation for a new season? Because I'm like, how do you guys remember the
No.
Okay.
I watched the finale of last season.
Okay. I need to go back and
But
watch
I
them because
will
I
for
like
the last season though. I think for season
okay.
6, definitely gonna do a full
Oh yeah,
rewatch.
I'll need to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll need to
that's
do that.
necessary at this point because yeah, I saw the picture and I was like, clearly these people are important. The last
Yeah.
lady, I was like, she looks familiar, but I can't place her. And now you guys are like so clearly remembering who she is, and I'm like, I vaguely remember. I need to go back and watch for real because then Danny might actually
Yeah,
because
like I can
what
see
I said at
some
the beginning.
relevance. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
everybody needs. I just need a refresher.
yeah. No, I think
No,
yeah,
honestly,
it
with this
makes
show, you
sense.
definitely do.
Yeah,
Like,
I think if you rewatch it, Danny will play. Danny was a big deal in season 3.
quite
He
annoyingly
Like,
so.
was.
Yeah.
He was, like, I probably need to correct, like, what I said. I was just curious as to, like, why I wasn't remembering, right? Like, I
Mhm.
don't
mm,
think I meant he wasn't. It was just like, why don't I remember? Like, I
I
Because
remember
think
also
the
his
affair with
storyline was so
Karen.
sour. You just wanted to let
yeah,
that go, you know?
he like I said, he's a big character to the show, but not necessarily a big character to the fans. Like I don't think people are
Mhm.
like, oh, Danny Stevens plotline, oh, that's like so riveting or so
Right.
I
emotional.
don't think I've ever
Like,
seen one R.I.P. Daddy Stevens show.
like, like, like he lied. He knew he had obviously a lot of stigma around mental health and everything, but he knew he
Yeah,
had issues and he still kind of went into space and he
Yep.
endangered people and I think killed people
exactly.
because of his misconduct.
Yep.
Mhm.
So it's just like, okay, sure. It's just like one L after another. Like,
I
bro,
feel
like
so
fix up.
bad.
Uh, no, so yeah, so she's gonna, and obviously she's the one who just, for anyone again who might not remember, Irina is the one who was Margot's handler, and then went end of last season, which is another reason why. Anyway, that's a whole different thing about Aleida. But end of last season, when Margot and Aleida kind of sabotaged the Goldilocks mission from
Mhm.
Mission Control, she
She threw her to
withdraws
the wolves. Yeah.
Margot's thingy, and then when she goes back home, her superiors clearly want to ask some questions. So the assumption is that they probably fired her from the government, or I'm surprised they didn't put her in jail,
Yeah,
considering
they
how
didn't kill her.
they treat people.
You're
Yeah,
talking
in
about
Star
Jill. Have you
City.
forgotten previously she almost
Um,
died before
but I
she
also
took over
know
this
that
handler position?
true.
Uh,
I know they cast an actor to play her younger character in the Star City
okay.
spin-off,
Love that.
and apparently that show is not doing time jumps. So
Interesting.
at least for the first 2 or 3 seasons, so at least those will kind of be set in, I think, the 70s kind of
You
thing.
know, it's so
So
funny. This episode actually made me kind of excited for Star City. I think seeing the governor and his wife, I was just like, oh, I love mess, actually.
yeah. Um, oh, just quickly, because last week Angel was when we were talking about Aleida coming to Mars,
Mhm.
you were like she will have to slap Dev, which
Which is
which
exactly what she went in there to
yeah,
do. Let's
the
be
kind
clear.
of yeah, and like obviously Dev hugs her and kind of disarms her. But
Mhm.
you also said last week, Angel, like Dev just needs better at communicating, and that's kind of what she was just like. Yeah, you kind of need to be better at communicating. Um, I was talking to Pete as well offline. I'm talking about how like the Russian side this season isn't really as drawn out as previous seasons so far, and I think that might be intentional. Now that we're getting to know a bit
Yeah.
more about who's going on, I think previously they've been kind of antagonists, but also kind of cooperative. Here, I
Yeah.
think they are meant to be fully the villains of this season, especially
Honestly,
if.
I feel like now we've even divested from Russia alone being the villain. You know what I mean?
Mm,
I feel like now with the whole M6, every country is kind of the villain. But I feel like it feels particular with Russia because, like you said, they've been the antagonist specifically for America for protagonist. So, like, we're not really in competition with Russia per se anymore because we're all in this bucket now. But
mhm.
still within that bucket, it's like, hey, I want to be the snake, the snake head on top right now. So I feel like that's what we're fighting for, but they're not even fighting, actually. I wouldn't say. Like, I don't really feel that, back then it was really KGB, da 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 da, still going on, but it's just more like
Mhm.
there's more surface collaboration, less like espionage.
The
Yeah.
deal, is it between Helios and Kurgan or between the US government and the companies?
See, we don't even know yet.
I
They
can't, yeah, I
did
don't
put
think
it,
this,
I think they
yeah.
put it in the contract, but I don't know. I'm trying to remember if there was enough of a zoom in to read like what was there. I don't remember specifically. I remember
Mm,
specifically, yeah. But I guess we'll
yeah,
find out too,
I guess
like
we'll
next
find out, yeah,
episode.
in episode
Yeah.
5. Um, Anything that we haven't touched on that you guys want to kind of.
Yes.
Mhm.
To no, not touched. Oh yes, definitely one we haven't touched on. But before I get to that, I wanted to say another thing in Alida's defense. I think that scene with Han Kelly as well as they were talking and they're going on and she goes, oh, you're not going to bring it up,
Mm.
cutting the funding. I think that further proves that she will stab you in the front because God like me would have moved on, child. She's like, well, she's not bringing it up. I'm not, we good. Okay, let's keep it pushing. But the fact that she felt the need to be like, hey, I need you to know that this wasn't some financial decision. I tried. Okay. And the CEO can only owe so much. So
Mm.
I really respected that. I was like, oh, I think we needed a leader on Mars. Like the way she's been stumbling through the base, absolutely love it. Um, but the thing I think we forgot to talk about is Danielle.
Danielle? Um,
Yes.
I have a question about her. Is she supposed to be younger than Ed? Because, like,
Yeah.
when they showed her, I was like, she looks so much younger
But
than
also
Ed.
black don't crack.
Black
Like
don't
they
crack,
could
right.
be so close in age, actually. I think they are not too far off, but
no, I think it's
maybe
at least 10 years.
10? I was
Okay,
gonna say like 5, but maybe he could be 10. He could be 10. She might
okay.
actually be that much younger. Yeah.
Yeah, I was watching this and I was like, she looks closer to, like, Aleida's age, but then I was
Uh,
like but then it did cross my mind, I was like, "Well, she is black, so maybe they didn't age her up as
Exactly.
much because she's black," but she was, like, moving around and all of this, but it was really good to see her. I like her
So
so much as
lovely.
an actress. Yeah, she's so good, but I was questioning, I was like and again, this is me maybe needing to go back and rewatch it. Has her Southern accent has she always had this, like, thicker Southern accent? Did you guys notice that about how she
I
was talking?
I actually didn't. I'm gonna have to go back and
I
watch that.
noticed it, but I didn't have an answer because last time I saw her was on what we call
Paradise.
it, Paradise. I
Yeah.
haven't watched season 2,
Yeah.
but season 1. So I'm like, okay, maybe that's just the transit. Maybe that's what's shaking me. But I didn't know. I was like, huh, okay. I can't remember if she had that in
Maybe it's
previous seasons.
suburban life, like she's been able to relax into what
What
actually
she
sounds like.
was,
Yeah.
maybe she was code switching. Maybe she
Hey,
was code switching at NASA.
exactly, because during her time she was dealing with some racism,
Yeah,
and
well,
sexism.
yeah.
Yep, 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 yep.
Very
Um,
true, very true. Yeah, I was
so
just like, she
she
sounds
was
like
born
somebody's
in
Southern grandma."
she was born in 1944.
Okay.
So meaning she's
Like
68
it's
at this show,
yeah,
which is yeah.
yeah. She's
So she's
about a
about
decade younger than
yeah, a
Ed.
decade younger than Ed, 15 years older than Aleida. She was born
Mhm.
in Memphis, Tennessee. So
Okay.
There we go.
So, yeah, she
yeah.
definitely would have a Southern accent. See, yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah.
that's what happens when you let years go by
Yep.
before you have another season of a show. Because yeah, you're
Yep.
right, I just watched her in Paradise season 2, and she did not talk like that, so I'm just mixing them up. I'm mixing up the accents. I was like, "Girl, why are you putting on this
It's like,
mammy
is this part of the
accent?"
character
Yeah.
or
yeah. So I'll be surprised if we see her again.
I
But
doubt it, but we're so
yeah.
happy to
Yeah.
get a glimpse into what her life's looking like now,
It looks like
and
she's
the
Seems
good,
fact that,
peaceful.
she's still
Mhm.
mourned
peaceful,
Ed.
rich. Her
Mhm.
Yep.
granddaughter
Peaceful,
is living with
rich,
her.
got a
It's like
goddaughter, she good.
yeah,
Yep.
it's
Like,
like
Love
that's
that.
nice. I also really like, as in not to stay on, I really like the fact that like Amber, no, not Amber, Avery. Avery
yes.
went to like meet her because I thought she was gonna
Mhm.
see her mom, but I was like, that just
Yeah.
kind of makes more sense. I like that. And clearly shows that they've had like a relationship, and she,
Like a mentor,
yeah,
goddaughter,
I don't
like
think, I
surrogate
think really
child.
a
Yeah.
mother stroke grandmother
Yeah,
kind of thing. Yeah.
100%. I could see Danielle
Um.
totally taking up that mantle with how guilty she felt over
Yeah.
Danny as well. Yeah.
And like, let's not forget that like it's easy to forget, and which is again the thing about nostalgia and relationships and all of these things. Like Danielle and Gordo were
We're
very, very
friends.
close.
Yeah, you're right.
Right.
Hey,
Like
Bob.
Hi Bob, yeah, was a three-person
Yeah.
thing. It wasn't just
Yeah.
Ed and Danielle. Gordo was there as
Yeah.
well. Like they
Yeah.
were stuck on the
That's
moon
so
together. Like
true.
so it's not like she just found herself in this family. Like she is basically family
Yeah,
to
Right.
that is
to
so
Gordo, and
true.
that's why she was basically raising Avery with Gordo's wife,
Mhm.
sorry, not Gordo's wife, Danny's wife.
There you go.
So yeah, she's part of this family. So it makes, I think it's more mother stroke grandmother than even godparent.
Yeah.
So it was I like when like the show maintains these relationships,
Mhm.
which I think is why the older characters kind of work for us so much. It's not because like we've known them for longer, it's because like they just have more
Their stories
relationships and
have so much
stronger,
depth.
yeah,
Like,
and stronger
yeah.
relationships for us to kind of hang on to and rely on. It's not like
Mhm.
no matter how much we like Alex, he has like this is eh, this is gonna be a weird analogy. So FIFA, the online football game, the football game,
Mhm.
sorry, when you're playing online, if you have two players that are like from the same team or same country, there's like a chemistry link, right? And it can go from like red or yellow to green. Right. Now, someone like Alex has maybe one green, which is with Kelly.
Mhm.
He has like a yellow with Lily, because that's just starting, and then Ed is
Mhm.
dead, and then he has like a yellow with Dev. But someone like Aleida has like 4 or 5 greens. Like they're all just
Yeah.
kind of like we
Yeah.
can throw a
I really
dart
like
and pick
that.
a relationship that we want to write with, and it's like there are just so many
Mhm.
good, strong relationships. So I think hopefully the show can kind of develop those, and we can kind of see what's going on. I don't know.
Well, we have the
Um,
rest of this season and one more season to feel something.
Well, I feel something. Like maybe I'm being too
Well,
nice. I do
feel
feel
more than
something.
something. Like, I think
Yes.
it's the something in comparison to. Like, you know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Like,
Right.
it just I even just talking about it, like sometimes I feel like a crackhead because I'm just like the way I talk about season 1 and 2 for All Mankind is like, no guys, like you had to be there. Like you could
Yeah.
still be there, but like you had to be there. They were not making TV like that at that
The
time.
word. The
You
It was
word.
know?
special.
Like
Yeah.
so special. And yeah, I just don't know if I'm ever gonna care about the youngins as much. I doubt it.
Yeah. That's
But I
how
want
I
to
feel
care about them a
too.
little bit more, like I want to invest a little bit more. Just like we are
Mm.
talking about with Miles, like when they introduced him and then he became a main character. I was like, who the fuck is this man? Like, I don't know this man. I don't care about him. I don't want to care about him. And even now, I don't care about him still. Like, I still don't care about him.
Do you care
But
about
he's
Dev?
Yes, I care about Dev, but not the way I care about the other characters. I feel like I haven't seen as much of Dev as I have the other characters, but I think I've seen enough for him to make it into OG cast for me. He's been in enough important like moments for me to be like, okay, yeah. Plus, I think he had a green flag with what's her name with Ed. He had one with Aleida. Like
Hmm.
I would say he's a secondary main cast character. You know, like
Yeah, he
we
had a
know
green
him,
with
but
Karen. Remember
yeah,
Karen? Him and Karen were
exactly.
working together.
Exactly when he was working with Karen. So he has that like the legacy ties as well, but we just don't have as much interaction with Dev. Like
Yeah.
we just don't. But I
Um.
care about him. Yes. If he dies, I'll be
Jazz.
like,
Just any final thoughts? Anything that you want to kind of shout out that we haven't discussed?
No, I think we covered, what we would need to cover for this episode. I don't wanna derail us too much. I will say with the Dev, I'm finding it harder to connect with him also, like, he's just another character that I'm just like, "Well, I'm pretty indifferent." Like, I think that's the
Yeah.
thing for me with For All Mankind is, like, the characters that I actually really cared about, they're all gone, and what's
Mhm.
left, like, a bunch of people that I just kind of care about her, I'm, like, indifferent on, like, Aleida's probably the last one that I'm, like, I'm really invested in, like, what happens with her,
Yeah.
but everybody else, I'm just, like, they could blow Mars up tomorrow, and I'll be like, "Okay, well,
I'll be like,
let's see
"That's
what's
tough."
happening over at the moon." You know what
No,
I
you know
mean?
what I'm
So
saying? What's going on Titan?
Shit.
yeah, exactly. So I think that's where it is with me, and I'm really curious to see how they're gonna, without getting too far into the future, how they're gonna wrap things up in season 6. Because yeah, if I'm feeling like this now, we have the rest of the season for me to connect with the characters, but what if I don't? Then I'm not gonna care about, like, this final chapter in season 6, which is
Mm,
feels really scary to me. Because, like we said, season 1 and 2,
Yeah.
I'm just like, "This show is amazing." You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So,
yeah, I
yeah.
like Dev. Again, that could be the black man, and I like Edie. I think
As
he has
you've
a
been
performer.
saying.
So, like, I find that I usually kind of want to, which I assume it's like, I don't know, don't speak for you guys, maybe the same with you and black female characters, but I usually kind of want to sympathize with the black male character, or at least kind of, it's easier for me than with like a white male character
To look
usually.
past their
Uh,
evil? Yeah,
yeah,
100%.
not necessarily. Okay, that's it. I feel like a different podcast. No, but I'm just like, if Miles, not Miles, sorry, if Dev was a white man, I might not
Mm,
have cared as much for him as. And again,
child.
but Dev is also fighting Lucy Battle. He's a billionaire,
Yeah.
so like it's like, how much can we really care about the billionaire? So, but I like him. I'm intrigued with him. I would like it a lot more if he doesn't know about this thing, because I think that will make the character a lot more interesting. If he doesn't know about it, then they have to double down and make him the villain. Like,
Mhm.
you just have to make it that he's the villain. Then we just have to kind of, then the question that becomes, what does that mean for Aleida and Alex and even Kelly? Like,
Mhm.
if Dev is the villain, because like if you say that he knows about it and you still want to do the both sides it, then you need to pick a side. You need to kind of like
Yeah.
pick a side and stick
You
to it.
can't be saying, "Well, we need to keep doing this,"
Yeah,
but at the same time, he's driving you out of work in less
yeah,
than
exactly.
5. So what are we doing here? Are you gonna help him?
Um,
Sorry, let me
so
not say him. Help whoever? Yes, there we go.
uh Kelly is on her way to Titan.
Pray she
Aleida
finds
is on
life.
Mars. Wait, Jazz, what do you have to say about it? Because before we wrap up, is
Kelly,
Yeah,
okay.
girl.
What is the disconnect with Kelly?
I
I'm
don't know.
genuinely wanting to know
I
because
don't know.
I think Angel, you definitely said it. I don't know, like, she's been around since season 2, so she
yeah.
should be in that category of people that I
But,
really, really care about,
uh-huh.
and I just don't.
At all, girl.
And I'm so curious, like,
At
I
all.
why it is.
I don't have the answer for you because I
At
am like
all.
you. I
Like,
I I
Yeah.
I don't.
I have no idea. I mean, to
Is
be
it the way they write her
fair,
character? I don't
I don't
know.
know. Maybe it's all the kids. Cause to be fair, which kids do we care about?
I
Let's
mean,
really ration it.
is he a later a kid? You
Yeah,
don't
but she's
count her
not a
as one of
kid
the
of the
kids?
legacy. You know what I mean? Like
Oh.
she's not Baldwin or Steven. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like
she's a
she's not one of those
self-made
kids. Yeah, she's
boss
a
babe.
self-made
Yeah.
kid. I'll call her Margot's kid. She's fine. But the other kids is like I think of all of them, like Kelly probably had the storyline to connect with the most. She's adopted.
Mhm.
She's fighting battles with sexism in the battle. She's fighting racism. Her daddy sometimes acting crazy. Her mama missing her son. She makes it through all of that, makes it to space, falls in love with the enemy in Russia and gets pregnant in the worst possible conditions. Mid air flies through the sky. One of the best moments, actually. Goes, has the baby. Baby cannot live in Earth's atmosphere. She's now a staple in Mars. Cool. She's fine. She's looking for life in the crater they named after her lover. Oh my God, so sad. Hasn't found the life in said crater. Now we are going to Saturn's rings to go and find. Like, I just don't care. Like,
Thanks. That was a great recap. Thank you very much,
That was
Angel.
actually really good. I was like, "Wait a minute, I forgot about the flying in space, but
no,
that was
like that was so cool.
iconic."
She's had so many like iconic. She's been in so many iconic moments. I don't know if it's the character herself, and maybe also I feel like just her wanting to prove herself to Ed a bit too much, like kind of annoys me. Like just go do your own thing, rebel. Rebel. But I understand that too as a girl and mom dad. You just want to make your parents proud. But yeah, I don't know. Like, it's just so hard to care about her. Like, she be crying. Like, even the episode where Ed died, right? And she's going
Crying.
through her whole haze of like, grief. I'm just like, yeah, like, oof.
So is it her acting? It's
I
either her
don't know.
acting
I
or,
don't
like,
want to
the way
say
they write
that.
her character.
I
Yeah, because it's
don't.
like it's weird. Because I think of, like, the people that I love on the show are not good people.
I,
Ed was not a good
Ed's
person.
not a
He's
good
very
person.
selfish. He literally
Yeah,
hated his family, literally
yeah,
hated Earth, like,
yeah.
hates everything about it. So attached to him as a character, but I don't know if it's his acting or the way they wrote him. Karen,
Love
I was
Karen.
so sad when Karen died, but I'm like,
Yep.
"You slept with Danny.
Literally hated her guts
You
towards the end,
slept
but
with you're
still,
terrible."
I was gagged. I said,
You
whoa.
know? I I don't know.
I was like,
That's
let
a
her
question for
live.
the ages. That's a question
Yeah.
for the ages.
I mean, and I feel like I've seen her in other things too. Um, Not main character cast. So I can't really say as to I can't compare her acting. Like, I have nothing to compare her acting to, like, realistically. I just don't know. Yeah, girl, it's just tough. And it's, as a woman, it's like I want to care so badly, you know. Yeah. Sorry, love the
Oh,
journey.
yes. Yeah, I don't know what the answer is to you guys, and I'm surprised.
Like,
I
do
thought I was the
you
only
care
one.
about Kelly?
No, no, I've said this before. I
Yeah,
don't.
yeah.
I said in the episode. I don't care. I do feel weird saying sometimes that I'm not trying to be. I hope it's not the performance thing. I don't think it's a performance thing. I think it's just maybe the character. I don't know. It's never really hit. That
Mm-hmm.
it might be the legacy thing. Maybe we'll just always compare them to their parents. That might be it. I don't know. I I don't know. It's weird. Like,
Oh,
hmm.
sorry.
No. I was just
Go.
thinking. I don't have anything to
Yeah.
say. Go ahead.
So here's the thing. We talk about Danny Stevens, how he wasn't like a good guy, a good character. We were still invested in like how bad he was as a character. Like I was still interested in his
His
shenanigans.
mess.
With
Yeah.
Kelly, for by all accounts, she's presented to us like as a good
Yeah.
person or at least a neutral person. So we should be more invested in her story and like I'm not. And so I think that's so interesting. I think it is the way they wrote her. Maybe she's almost too
You're so.
neutral.
I was gonna say maybe she's even
Hmm.
almost too layered, even
Yeah.
because she's
Mhm.
adopted. She's Asian.
Mhm.
She's a woman.
Heart on the heart on the heart. Yeah, fair.
They didn't stack.
She fell in
They
love with the
stacked it up. She
Russian.
fell in love with the
She had a
Russian.
yeah.
She had a Russian, the first Russian Earth baby. Like, I think she was maybe also just a bit too late. That's
Yeah,
just
there's a lot
like
going on there.
okay, we'll
Do
tackle
you
all of Kelly.
do do you guys care about the search for life?
No.
And we can wrap up soon. So there are people who obviously watch the show and care a lot about that, and that's like I think that's very fair. I think that's the point of the show, right? I think Pete also cares a lot about. I think cares about that. So, and I think maybe if you do care about that, you can care about Kelly.
You're so right. You're so right. Her
'Cause I
mission
personally
isn't
don't care about
important
the
to
search for
us.
life.
Yeah.
Like I care about. I've always cared about the exploration and going to. I
Mhm.
like. I think visually it's always been great, and it's like emotionally. Like I think I can relate more to an astronaut's kind of desire. And this might be it actually. I can relate more to an astronaut's desire to go to a different planet or go to space or go to the moon or
Mhm.
whatever. You want to find life. Okay. Like what does that?
Yeah, like
What
what
does that
like
change?
literally what that doing for me?
Yeah, I was like, okay. I don't
like,
really. Okay. You want
like,
to find.
yay, go Earth,
So
go world, galaxy.
so that
Like,
might be it. That might be it. Whereas like for every
honestly
other person,
fair.
Yeah,
for
that's
other person, like I
a
can
great
relate
point.
to what they want. For her, I'm just like,
Mhm.
sure, okay. Like
That's
I
a great
think
point.
even that season where she falls in love and whatever, obviously she was a kind of a minor character that season, but she was on a mission to get to
Yeah.
Mars. We cared about the mission. And I don't know. I think, yeah, maybe Nev just don't really care about what she cares
Honestly, it's
about.
alright. Like, yeah, do not give one toot about that search for life.
Which is, again, just to wrap up now, I think, again, look, as people listening to this podcast know, when I love a show, I really do, like, I want it to be good.
Yeah.
I don't want the show to be bad. So I'm hoping I'm throwing them out the bill. I can't. But I do think I can, if it's done well, I can empathize with a big power, a big government, a big corporation kicking you out and like imposing their wills on you. So this new plot line of like the automation
Mm-hmm.
has the chance to kind of, it's not big Ellen catching a ball in the air, but like it's like it has the chance to kind of be emotionally triggering, resonant, if that
Yeah.
makes sense. So
Like
it could work,
impactful.
like if they do it properly. So that's a good kind of like lifeline, I think. Yeah. Well, I'm I've liked the last few episodes like gradually, so I'm hopeful that like and I think changing my point of view on this season, I'm going more of like it's a colonialism story or an immigration story, and like this is the dark period has kind of shifted. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm not coming in for all. I'm coming in for
Yeah. Cause so
like
right, we
yeah,
were there for all before, and now
yeah,
it's getting a little earthly. I
yeah,
think
it's getting
that's
too
what's
a bit
happening
too
here.
real.
Yeah, yeah.
But anyway, no, that's kind of. I think we can wrap up there. Jazz, thank you very much for
Us,
Thank you guys
so
for
coming
having me.
on.
This was
great.
fun. So fun.
Uh, we might not. I don't think we're back next week because we're going to take next week off because there's lots of stuff going on. If you're watching Invincible or The Boys, please check out our coverage on that. Both shows. Invincible is wrapping up next week. The Boys is entering its second half of the final season. But we'll be back for episode 6, and then probably 2 weeks after that up to the finale of For Mankind. Jazz, thank you. Angel, thank you very much. Hopefully they find life
Been
on
fab.
Titan, so we can just wrap up this storyline.
Don't kill me.
But yeah, join us next week. We'll be joined by Oscar winner, BAFTA winner, Danielle Kaluuya. Bye, guys.
Bye.